Global Cooking Challenge tonight as we continue our 193-week, 4-year project in learning to cook by doing the dish of a different country in alphabetical order, going around the world from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. We have reached week and country number 168. No, am I right? No, sorry. Is it really? Wow. 188 of 193. And we have reached Uzbekistan. Tonight we are cooking the food of Uzbekistan. We are making an Uzbek Plov with Bademjan. I don't know how to pronounce that. Eggplant salad. And if you're wondering where Uzbekistan is on this map, it's very small. It's going to be located, wow, it's even hard to see, right up in this area. We'll show you on the globe if I can move that. We are simulcasting on Meerkat and Periscope, incidentally. Okay, I'm going to need to move that so you can see on Meerkat. But right up here, north of Afghanistan, south of Kazakhstan, and north of Turkmenistan, and east of, I believe that's Tajikistan, there's a sort of N-shaped country, is Uzbekistan right there. And so that is the country that we're doing. And again, we're simulcasting on Meerkat Periscope. And that's my head. Hello, British. Thank you for the like. And Sensano. And thank you. So let us get going. We have our broiler heated up for eggplant salad. But we're not doing that. So I've got the broiler going. And I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that I'll be able to handle this okay. We're going to stick these under the broiler and kind of keep a watch on them for a few minutes, and they will cook very quickly. Hello, darling. How are you doing? Okay, so we have started that. Now, oops. Back up. I forgot a step. My bad. I forgot a key step. I need to brush those with olive oil. Okay. I would move you on top of the fridge for a better view right now, but this is it could take very long. So, rather than make everyone dizzy. We are listening to Uzbek music right now. Do you speak Russian? I'm sorry, I do not speak Russian. Da, no, niet. Niet on the Russian. Russian very good, I just don't speak it. Do svidanya. That's all. Those are the 3 words I know. I'm guessing you do. How's you're talking to each other? Okay. Hello. Thank you for the likes and the restreams on Meerkat. I'm sorry I'm not seeing them all. Good. Yay. So quickly trying to brush these and stick them back in under the broiler there. Again, these would normally be on the grill, and eggplant goes very quickly, but I don't know how fast it's going to be under the broiler. Hey, Mom! Thank you for the restream. Okay, that's about enough of that. So back into the oven. Okay, into the broiler. Okay, one more time. Okay. So while that goes, now I'm going to move. I'm doing okay. Tammy, thanks for asking. Okay, I think I'm going to move the Periscope people up into the sky for a moment so you can get a better view. One moment while I hook you up there. So what we're going to do now is mix up the dressing for the salad, which we're going to do in that bowl right there. And if you're wondering why I am taking pictures, they are for the blog. The blog is located at cliffyland.com. You can find information about the countries, links to the original recipes, pictures of everything, and reviews of how the different dishes went. And you can catch up on the 187 countries that you missed already. So, into here, we are going to mix the ingredients for our dressing. You know what? I think you'll get a better view if we put you in the sky over here. So we will do our prep over there. Sorry for making everyone dizzy. Okay. And here. we go. Isn't that better? You can actually see everything. Over here. Okay, we're moving. We're moving. Okay, I have all my prep for both dishes sitting out. So we're gonna do everything in this bowl right here. And gotta get my camera ready. Okay, so into this dish, in this bowl, we're gonna mix minced garlic. That's 1 clove of minced garlic, which I need to get out. Where's my list here? Come on. Don't be shy. And then we're adding this is 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. You can use white vinegar if you'd like. And then we're using the juice of half a lemon. And then we're doing, this is 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika. And to that, here's the tricky one. We're adding what would be Aleppo pepper. The thing is about Aleppo peppers, oh, I'm sorry, I did not see that. Oh, you don't speak English. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say. But Aleppo pepper is a dried spice. You can find it at Mediterranean markets, Middle Eastern markets. We don't have those right nearby here. So in order to create a version of the Aleppo pepper, I took some sweet paprika. That's 3 parts sweet paprika to 1 part cayenne pepper to create what would be the Aleppo pepper. Thank you for the Restream P. Mendoza. Get in there. I mixed this all up earlier, incidentally, because I could not find that anywhere. And then we're adding the salt, which is hiding right behind here. This is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And okay, so now we're going to mix this up. Now when the eggplant and red pepper are finished, they're going to sit out to room temperature, and then we're going to cut them into pieces and dress them in here, and it has to sit for an hour. For that moment, let me catch up on these likes and comments here. Thank you for the like. Ghost, hello. Dishad, greetings. Ghost, thank you. And thank you for the restream. And thank you. So, we have this all mixed up. So, I'm going to look and peek in the... it's okay, Tammy. In the oven, see how we're doing here. Still has a little ways to go. But I do have to keep an eye on that. However, while we wait on that, I can get moving on some of the steps I need to do for the lamb. The plov. Now for the plov, there's going to be, we have lamb. Now this called for about, this serves 4 people, called for about 3/4 pound of leg of lamb, but you can't buy 3/4 pound of leg of lamb. Hello there, Dishad, yes. But you can't buy it because they come in big packages, about 4 pounds and such, and so I had to buy a rack of lamb, smaller pieces. Also, I cut that into bite-sized cubes, and also cut some fat off it because I'm going to render the fat, and I'm going to cook it in the lamb fat because you can't find lamb fat. Also, we have some garlic cubes here that we've chopped the tops off, and we're going to roast those right now. We also have our spices that we're going to toast, and then it's going to be rice, onions, and carrots. So, but first, it takes about an hour for this part to happen. So, for the garlic, we're going to take bits of aluminum foil and place each head of garlic in a pouch of aluminum foil. And no English, so it's okay, I'm so sorry. You can watch. So we're going to make little packages to roast the garlic with the skin on. And you want to have one head per person. When Cliff. Yes, that is my mom. And so you want one head of garlic per person. Now there's only 2 of us eating, but I'm having leftovers, making enough for leftovers, so that I'll have leftovers for 2 days of lunch. So what we're going to do right here, we've made these little packages. I'm going to give like another minute to that, because it looks like our eggplant may be done. Maybe almost ready. Mom, yes. So what we're going to do right here is into the packages, we're going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil into each one of these packages. And again, this is with the skin on and everything. Welcome back, Tammy. When they are cooked, it's all soft, and you'll be able to just pull the skin off, and it'll be like a paste. So we're putting these in there, like that. So drizzling a little bit of olive oil on top. You can get a picture of that. First, I think that looks kind of gross, but... And so again, there'll be leftovers. Lots of leftovers. Now, the thing about plov is that in Tajikistan, it's traditionally made by men. And men, each man will work the same way in the United States. You'll have a thing with barbecue, and the men will be, oh, that's so sweet. Everyone's saying hi to my mom. But the men will have their own recipe for their own plov and guard it carefully, and it's like a big competition. Oh, you all are so nice. So there's a million different recipes for plov, is what I'm getting at. And this is just one of many. Can someone teach me this? Well, here's the thing. You can go to my website at cliffyland.com. And that's cliffyland.com. I hope I'm going the right way. cliffyland.com. And you can see pictures, links to the original recipes, these videos, and picture by picture, step by step of how I did it. So I've taught myself to learn how to cook over this process. 4 years ago when I started, I did not know how to boil water. So I've come this far, and we're nearing the end. We are only 6 weeks from the end. And then we move on to phase 2, but this will be the end of phase 1 of this challenge. So I need to take out, yes, those are most definitely ready now. So let's take these out. Oh. There they are, out. Very hot. Hot, hot, hot. Off. And then I need to turn these, put these somewhere to cool. Sorry you can't see that. Ow, 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 hot. Okay. Now I'm going to turn the oven down to 320. And I'm going to, in a few minutes, I'm going to put these in there for an hour. How Meerkat works. So confused, LOL. Hello, greetings. you are seeing me live, you're typing, you're saying your thing. You can subscribe to me by clicking on the link over here, and you'll be updated when the new streams are starting, normally when they're scheduled, but that's all broken right now. But you can ask anyone else for more information. They can help you. For phase 2, we will be moving from Meerkat to the new app called Busker. Busker, Busker. And you'll be able to catch us there. We will continue on Periscope, and we may be adding NOM, N-O-M, into the mix as well. So, we are over here with the... Let me grab these over here so I don't burn myself. So you can see our eggplant and red bell pepper that we have sitting over here. And we're going to start chopping those into bite-sized pieces. How about now? And I'm going to move my cutting board over here so I don't have to keep moving everyone else. So, I just have a very crowded workspace right now. I'm on Periscope always. Yes. Good. Follow. Thank you very much. And you can always follow Cliffyland on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Instagram, Pinterest, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, I know. Nom is a little weird. Nom is trying to be a lot of things at the same time, which is weird. They're trying to be like an Instagram thing with videos and pictures and stuff, but all food. So I haven't really decided. I may post the videos after I'm done on Nom or something like that. But once phase 2 begins, it's going to be sort of like a soft launch for phase 2 after I finish Zimbabwe. We'll be moving to Busker then. But we will be, instead of doing the regular blogs, the text blogs, on the cliffyland.com, we'll be posting videos. They'll be short 4-minute videos which will sort of recap everything about the given night. And that we're trying to encourage people to go to the YouTube channel. If I get enough subscribers, there I can get the custom URL, etc., etc., etc. So, we are going to chop this into bite-sized portions here. So, chopping up our eggplant pieces and our pieces of red bell pepper. Now this, the eggplant salad needs to be at room temperature when it's served. Why are you leaving Meerkat? Meerkat is I hate to say, it's kind of like abandonware now. The scheduling doesn't work anymore. Most of the regulars have already left for Busker or other places. So I really don't see the import of staying on Meerkat past Zimbabwe. I've sort of committed myself to staying there. There will be, the Busker people do have an Android version coming. It's in beta right now. If you're interested, you can write to, what is it, Busker/beta, I think. I'm sorry. It's on their website. No, Android/beta at busker.co. Not com, but co. So that's what that's about. Okay, so now that we've chopped this up into smaller pieces, now we're going to put this into our mix over here. I really should have taken the whisk out before I did that. I mean, Periscope is fine, except for the fact that there are so many people on Periscope that it's hard to get found. Busker is nice, though. And also, Busker allows for tipping. If someone felt so motivated to throw a buck or two my way, that would make this whole thing much easier to swallow, if you catch my drift. So, we put this in with the dressing, and now we're going to mix this up. And like I said, this needs to sit at room temperature for about an hour. So I'm not going to put that down in the cook. Let me move this all. One moment, please. Okay, so here's where we are with this. So I'm going to go cover that and let it sit for about an hour. So that's you. You can see, no one there to see, but did we mix it in? No, we didn't. Okay, picture of you. Smile. So that's going to be our eggplant salad. And I think I'm missing one step. Yes, I need to add in, sorry, one more thing. We're going to add in chopped mint that we have chopped up. That's 2 tablespoons of chopped mint. And 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley as well. Okay. Mint and parsley you'll find, very common ingredients in this general part of the world in the cuisine, from the Persians in Iran, throughout a lot of the countries of Central Asia, the Black Sea. These are common food flavor combinations. So, now that we have actually officially done that, now we're going to cover it and let it sit for an hour. Meanwhile, I am now going to put the cloves of garlic that we had beheaded and drizzled with the olive oil and put them in the oven at 320 for an hour. Hello! Hello there. Ah, hot. Okay. Is this still hot? Okay, hold on. Let me get this out of my way. Because we're going to need the stove now. Yeah, that was... Okay, one moment. Let me clean this off. Be right back. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be rendering the fat, the lamb fat, for the plov first, and that may take a little bit. It's about a 1/4 pound. I asked the butcher for about a 1/4 pound of the lamb fat, so hopefully that's going to work out. So you are going to move over to the stove now. Over here. Okay. And we're going to move you over here. Hello. Ah. Okay, let me get my saucepan out. Okay, that's you. So we're going to heat this up to like a medium heat. And I'm going to get out one of these. And we have our lamb fat here, and we're going to render it. So to do that, we're going to put it down, fat side down, and we're going to try to get basically about a 1/2 cup of fat out of this. I trimmed the fat off the lamb, and we're going to try to get this out. I've done this with duck fat. Oh, Mom, you're so sweet. Nah. Okay. You are all so nice. Okay. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Thank you, thank you. So we're rendering the fat here on the lamb. I'm not sure exactly how many minutes that's going to take. But we're good because this dish actually generally doesn't take that long to cook. So I'm not too worried, especially now that we have the eggplant done. I did not say a proper hello to you. Mohammed, greetings, assalamu alaikum. Tammy. Okay. Now once that renders, we're going to take that out and then going to put in the actual lamb, which is about 3/4 of a pound of the lamb in, and then we're going to let that fry on all sides, get that browned. And if we have to do it in several steps, we will. So, in batches. There isn't that much, so we should be okay. We cut that into bite-sized portions. So Uzbekistan is our 9th of 9 stan countries. Stan meaning place. The same way in English you'd have shire or stead. Yeah, in this part of the world, stan basically means place. So that's why you have Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Hold on, did I get that? Afghanistan, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. Seven stands. I hope I got that right. Now, you know, sometime earlier, I went looking for lamb fat. I thought, like, is that a thing you can find? Like, you can find lard in jars or something? And everyone said no. No, you can't get lamb fat like that. At least not here. They say, you know, you can use the canola oil or something if you want to, but the flavor really needs to be accurate to the tradition. You really want it to be lamb fat. And since you have the lamb and it has the fat, might as well take care of it. I need some more water. It's very hot here because I'm standing over the stove. So I'm going to let that render for a second. And we're back. So we want smoke here. Not a lot of smoke, but the smoke is key. And then the hard parts we're going to throw away. And I don't think that this dish was originally done in a non-stick pan, so there's that complication also. But I doubt I'm going to get to as much the 1/4 cup that I'm expecting. How's everybody doing? This is our one and only night of Uzbekistan. We were busy. Went to Disney over the weekend. Had a fantastic meal at a new place at Animal Kingdom called Tiffin. which is interesting because that's in the animal kingdom. It's based on foods from Africa, Asia, and South America. And indeed, and also at the Skipper's Canteen in the Magic Kingdom. And same idea. And it was very interesting seeing these different dishes that, in essence, I've actually already made. So they had these sort of dumplings, which were delicious, and I said, oh, I made those from Mongolia. And by gum, they tasted just like that. They didn't look as pretty, but they tasted like that. Now, like I said, if I'd gotten leg of a lamb that would have a big giant piece of fat at the bottom, this would be easier. But for now, we're doing our best. I may have to, accentuate this with canola oil because I don't see enough fat coming out. And they didn't say how long this would take. The only good part is I'm not worrying about burning it. Hello! Because I know this part goes away. And that's going to leave the meat lean without the chewy fat parts on it. So it's a 2-for-1 deal. Wow. I don't see enough fat coming out of this. Oh, that reminds me. There. Okay. And again, please go find our YouTube channel, look for Cliffyland, and subscribe. I need 100 subscribers so I can get a custom URL, and we're way short of that. So if you have a mind, please do so. Similarly, if you are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter person, please like, follow. Just look for Cliffyland, or Cliffyland this way, depending how that turns out. Okay, I think that's as good as that's gonna get. Ow! It's also splattering on me, which is not fun. Okay. And now, oopsie, I need to get a pot. Here. And I'm going to take my vegetable broth. It's a quart of vegetable broth. And I'm going to want that come to a simmer. There was a recipe for making your own vegetable broth, but really, I can't. I can't just go, they make it sound so easy. Just take leeks and onions and potatoes and whatever, but what do you do with it afterwards? And you have to chop the leeks and onions and potatoes, and it's really, that's kind of a step too far for me. But it said, whatever you do, don't use cold vegetable broth. So this is, vegetable stock, and I'm going to let that simmer, so we'll need it later. I'm ready to jump into oncoming traffic to avoid my homework. Golly gee, I don't know what to tell you about that. I used to feel the same way. I did. If someone told me that I should just go ahead and do it, and I wouldn't listen to them, but you really should go ahead and do it. Okay, that's about as good as that's going to get, I tell you. So let's lose you. And move on. Okay. So we're going to take out our big ugly chunks and leaving behind the grease, which is what we are looking for. And I'm gonna complement that with canola oil because I just don't think there's enough there. There's some, but not as much as I need. So I'm gonna put just a little bit in. And we do want that smoke. Okay. So now that we've done that, we're going to jump into a bowl of Jell-O. We're going to put in the pieces of lamb. I don't have my camera up. it would be better if I did, into the lamb, into the oil, and we're going to brown that on all sides. I've turned the heat down some. The Maillard reaction. That's what happens. You don't, one of the reasons, and I've made this mistake a million times, you don't want to crowd it because you don't want the vapors to, I don't know, get in the way. So you need enough room in between. Otherwise the reaction, the browning doesn't happen. And then it steams. I've done that mistake many, many times already. So I hope I did not crowd it this time. But once it's browned on all sides, we're going to take the meat out. So a picture of that. And out you go. So now we have more juices, which is good. Okay. Yowza. Let me move this over to one side for a moment, because now I need to do something else, which I should have done earlier. But it'll be okay. I'm going to get a saute pan. And then into the saute pan, I'm going to put in our spices, which we have. These are black peppercorns, we have coriander seeds, and we have whole cumin seeds. Now, this recipe didn't talk about toasting the spices, but I'm going to. So we're going to put these all in a dry saucepan, and since that's already hot underneath, I don't have to worry about heating it up, and let that toast for about a minute or so. And then once that's toasted, we're going to put that into the spice grinder right over here. Well, we still dealing with Paul's issues? I don't see him, or do other people see him? I don't know. If that's the same thing we're talking about. In any case. So I want this to get nice and smoky. Or to start to smell nice in any case. And thankfully this is already nice and hot. Oh boy, that smells good. That smells really good. Now the coriander, black peppercorn, and cumin, there's some debate as to whether all three of these spices would normally be used. But this particular Uzbeki chef said yes, so that's what we're going with. Okay, that's starting to be toasty, so now let's, I'm getting out my funnel. Okay. Okay. And funnel. And now we're going to grind the peppers. Not the peppers, the spices. So those are all ground up. And I can just take them right from here. So I don't need to move that to another bowl. So we're going to put our lamb fat back on the heat and continue with this. So now, once we heat this back up again, whoops, sorry, there you are. We're going to add in the sliced onions, which we have 2 large onions. That's a whole lot of onions. So that's back to being crackling, so in you go. And we're going to cook those until they start to soften and brown, which should be about 8 minutes. So that would take us to 7:03. So we're softening our onions in the lamb fat. So this is our last country in the letter U. After this we will be in the home stretch with V, and then Y and Z. No W's, no X's. But I'm thinking once I'm developing my list. Hello. I'm developing my list for the countries that we'll be doing after we hit Zimbabwe. They're sort of controversial places, territories, sovereign states, disputed lands. So we're going to get about 7 of them. We'll also be taking a couple weeks off. Hey, Derek, you made it. We are cooking Uzbekistan. This is our Plov, P-L-O-V. We made Plov way back before Meerkat, cooking Azerbaijan. And that was really good. Mom really liked that. That had apricots and raisins and cashews and chestnuts. And when we go back around for phase 2, we'll be doing it again. We did one for, I believe it was Turkmenistan. Now what these countries' names mean is Uzbekistan means land of the Uzbeks. Turkmenistan means land of the Turkmen, and Kazakhstan is land of the Kazakhs, and so forth. However, in Uzbekistan, like not all Uzbeks live in Uzbekistan. Some of them live in Turkmenistan, and so there's a lot of Turkmen influence and Uzbek influence back and forth. This is along the Silk Road, where Marco Polo went back and forth. Thank you for coming by, Tammy. Catch you snapping. Yes, on the Silk Road, back and forth, and eventually was part of the Mongol Empire, and then part of the Russian Empire, and they fought off the tried to fight off the Russians and the Soviets, but eventually became one of the constituent republics of the Soviet Union until the breakup of the Soviet Union in 1991, and they've been independent since. Not the happiest place on earth, sad to say. They recently released a survey of the slavery in the 21st century, and Mauritania in Western Europe was always number 1. The sad distinction of being where the most slaves are found here in the 21st century. Mauritania has been finally taking some steps towards that and reporting it and trying to make it a, not a cultural thing. So now the countries that are at the top of that list are North Korea and Uzbekistan. Thank you, Mom. Oh, love you. So we have another 5 minutes here. There's a lot of onions for it to soften, and the pot isn't really all that big. But once we have these in, then we're going to add in our sliced carrots that we grated in the food processor before. Oh, golly gee. I am sorry to the Meerkat people for the grease on the lens somewhere. And the periscope of my iPad, I need to disinfect my iPad after every cook. Derek, thank you for liking the restream. And if you didn't hear the news previously, we're going to have a special guest in the kitchen in a few weeks. In 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, we will be having Mr. and Mrs. Funky Fairy right here, live in studio, when we cook the food of Yemen. So, I thought they'd be landing here for Vietnam week, but it's going to be Yemen week. So, the world-famous Mr. and Mrs. Funky Fairy will be in the house. So, that should be fun. Be very exciting. Looking forward to that. So, and onions. We have another 2 minutes to go on the onions. Wow, how nice. Yes, isn't that wonderful? See, Derek, now you got to get on a plane. We'll do Scotland one more time. These are softening nicely. We have another 2 minutes to go here. Yay, they're softening. These are Spanish onions, which, curiously, Spanish onions I managed to find. I didn't want to do white onions because that's really a Western Hemisphere onion. You saw us use that when we cooked the United States, 2 weeks ago? And we only have one more country in the Western Hemisphere. Then, we have 2 more Asia, is it? 1 Oceania, 2 Africa, 1 South America. So reaching the end, I invited you and the husband to mine. Yes. Well, at some point we will make it across the pond, as it were. We're going to be going in the other direction, though, for our little jaunt away. So, if you would like to see all about that, follow me on Snapchat if you're on Snapchat. And to find me on Snapchat, follow me on Twitter and send me a direct message with your Snapchat username. I'll add you, and then you can add me back. Okay, 1 more minute on the onions here. Getting nice and soft. How's the weather in Scotland? It must be better than here. Here it is awful. Absolutely brutal. It was in the mid-80s before dawn with like an 80% humidity. Thankfully there was a breeze, but this morning I thought I was going to die. I did my 10-mile run. Oh, thank you, Mom. I did my 10-mile run and I thought I was going to die. I mean, it was just the heat. There wasn't even the sun. It was overcast. It was overcast, but I could not handle it. So, I don't know how I'm going to make it through till September, October. Okay, here go our onions. This is 4 large onions that we shredded. Chonk, 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 chonk. And these onions, sorry, did I say onions? I meant carrots. Have you gotten a lot of rain? They've gotten some rain. There's a hurricane, tropical storm, something that passed to the northern part of the state, not through here. Yeah, but we do, summertime, so you get tons of rain, like loud, crazy, dangerous, scary thunderstorms, and then hurricanes, which I want no part of. I am in SC, so they keep talking about the tropical storm. I love how no parts of Florida are getting it. Yes, just not this part, but yes, indeed, you're correct. And we're gonna add our spices now that we ground up earlier. And let me get as much of that out as I can. Okay. I'll mix that all together. I want this to go for about 4 minutes or so. I want these carrots to soften. I'm starting to wonder if I needed a larger pot, but hopefully I'll be okay. Spookily sunny for Scotland. Really? Things are weird. Things are weird and getting weirder. Yeah, no, but here it's always been hot. I've just been remembering the summer from 30 years ago. And remembering every detail of how I was suffering, how it was so hot then too. Here, I had to work at a particular company, and I had to park my car on, we'll just say a parking lot, which was a good half-hour walk from the front door. Half-hour walk in the 95-degree sun to the front door. And then half an hour walk back to the car for lunch, and half-hour walk, back from the car after lunch, and a half-hour walk out to the car after work was done in work clothes. That was not a fun deal. Not a fun deal. Florida in the summer is not for the weak of heart. Okay, we're looking for 4, 5, 6, about another minute or so here. Want these carrots to soften some. Boop, boop, boopity boop boop boop. We listen to Uzbek music in case you could not tell. Now, like I said, there's a million plov recipes. In fact, there's a million Uzbek plov recipes that I found. It was very difficult for me to guess which one I wanted to do. Incidentally, one of the ingredients here would be barberries. That's B-A-R, berries. However, I could not find barberries here. Previously, I could not find them this time, so as a replacement, I'm using currants. And that's what we're going to be adding in a little bit later. Okay. 4, 5, 6, maybe one more minute. I've traveled extremely in Europe and some in the Far East, but I've never been across the phone with your neck of the woods. Yes, I've been across North America and South America and the Caribbean and parts of Europe in my whirlwind tour of Europe as a kid. And to Iceland and to Hawaii, but never been to Asia or Eastern Europe or anything like that. So someday, take like around the world cruise or something. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to add in the lamb that we had reserved earlier, along with any juices that leak out. And to that, I'm going to mix that up. There's a lot of food. And again, I apologize to any Periscope people that I don't see. Can you make Turkish cook? Yes, I did cook turkey. Go to cliffyland.com, cliffyland.com, and you will see the food I did from Turkey. It is there. It was very, very good. I did 3 nights of turkey. I also did Turkish influence food for the many, many countries that were part of the Ottoman Empire since they left behind the Turkish sort of food cooking traditions. So check out the blog. You'll see the turkey there, along with pictures and links to the original recipes and the videos and all that good stuff. So check it out. Okay, so now that we've mixed that up, now we're going to add in the rice. Now this is long grain rice. These are 2 cups of rice. So that's going in. And then to that, we're going to add our vegetable broth that we have had simmering on the stove right here. So that's a quart, 4 cups of the vegetable broth. And we need to mix this up. And we're going to cover that and simmer it for, well, more than 15 minutes, let me tell you. For a couple reasons. One of which is the husband ain't coming home till a little bit later. But yes, this would normally be about 15 minutes in there. We want to cover it. We want to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. So we're going to be stirring it every so often. And now one of the versions of this, you saw earlier, the garlic heads are in the oven right now roasting. And sometimes they would be buried in the plov. Either at some point during the cook or at the end. We're just going to stick them on the top at the end. That's the way we've also chosen to add in some red hot chili peppers. That we have a little chili pepper plant. So we like hot food, so there's that. And I have a big mess over here. I need to cover that. And I need to figure out which one is the cover. Could it be you? No, it's not you. There's always the fun guessing game here. Could it be you? No, it's not you. Could it be you? No, that's not really you either. It's one of you. Could it be you? Yes, it's you. Fourth time's the charm. So we can let that sit for about 15 minutes. And so our eggplant salad is sitting here on the counter at room temperature. If you'd missed it before, there it is there. That's to be served at room temperature. So basically that one's done. So we are kind of at this sort of pausing point here. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Since the Periscope people are just there, you can keep an eye on that. I'm going to be over here washing up. That isn't nearly as exciting for you to watch from bird's eye view. So if you have any questions, run on over to Meerkat. I'll answer them there. And I still have a grease stain on the lens. Let me see if I can take care of that. Don't go away. This one hurt a bit. Hold on. Still greasy on this end? Yeah. That's what happens when you splatter grease. Yeah, that's gonna take more work afterwards. Alas. Alas. So, this is Uzbekistan next week. We have a guest coming, and so the guest has dietary restrictions, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to cook for our guest the food of Vanuatu. Additionally, having cooked the food of literally every other Pacific Island nation, and there are so many more than you would imagine. Already, I have truly exhausted, in my mind, every dish from Oceania. I've done them multiple times, multiple ways, and I feel a little bit stumped. So I think Vanuatu might just be one night. I think we might do Vanuatu just a week from tonight, and that might be it. It's unlikely because, like I said, our friend has a lot of things he can't eat, and that doesn't really go well with what's available for that country. And I don't want to cook something separate for him. So, but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be having company a few times. I have Mr. Funky Fairy and Mrs. Funky Fairy, and then our friend coming. So it's all gonna be cool. Additionally, after I finish Zimbabwe, as I said, I want to do about 7 other sort of contested lands. It's going to be Kosovo, Palestine, Taiwan, Vatican City, Western Sahara. I also want to do French Guinea, even though it's, straight up, that's a straight up territory. But it's large enough that it covers a substantial part of the planet. I think I might do Tibet, and then I also want to do Puerto Rico if I can get the family to come over from Puerto Rico. Otherwise, I'll just do it for family and friends from Miami. So we're letting that sit, cleaning up here a bit, while we wait for our plov and our garlic, which are running past each other. One's in the oven, one's on the stove. This is still very hot, which is weird. Has anyone been anywhere near Uzbekistan? I had a friend who just about a year ago just up and surprised everyone. And not the sort of person who looked like the sort who would do that. It was Abracadabra. He was in Kyrgyzstan, just one day to the next, and I was really surprised. He was there's a lot of horse meat that's eaten in Central Asia, which is really frowned upon here in the United States. Also a number of food products made with horse, such as this fermented milk, fermented mare's milk called kumis. Popular beverage in that part of the world. Uzbekistan, trivia, is one of only 2 doubly landlocked nations in the world. That is a landlocked country which is completely surrounded by other landlocked countries. And I believe the only other one is, I think, Luxembourg? Or, no, Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein, I think. One of those 2. Is the only other doubly landlocked country in the world. So now, what do you know? We cleaned up. Thank you for indulging me. So let's go back and take a look at you. How are we doing over here? Oh, thank you for the hearts. Ooh, steamy. Okay. There's so much food. But it's okay. I'm gonna have leftovers for today and tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. Wanna come over for dinner? We got plov on the stove. So we're gonna have the garlic going in there, the currants at the end, and that's gonna be it. How exciting. Oh, yeah. So hot. But we've dealt with all sorts of stuff. Like our washing machine blew up, which is exciting. Our machinery has all been failing us this week. The washing machine died, the coffee maker died. Just hope the stove doesn't die, then we'll really be in trouble. Thank you so much for the hearts. It's really cute. I go on Periscope, and since you can see the map function, you can see the world, and you can go and, so like the countries I'm cooking, I can go and see what's going on right then. So I went, looked at Tashkent, which is the capital, and it was curious to see, you know, kids just sort of hanging out and sitting in a restaurant and talking, and I didn't understand anything that was being said. There's one feed where it was just a kid, a living room, Western music is playing, then the lights go out, and then the kid comes out and does a little dance, which was unusual. So it's always fun to see what people do. Also with Periscope, I get this weird feeling that if you are like in one place and then you do a stream in another place, but your place is, you know, you haven't said the location, it'll stick to where you're from and not where you're at. Because I saw there were these 2 things from the rural parts of Uzbekistan, but they were saying something about the United States in the tag, and I thought that maybe, and I looked at, they were driving along a highway, and I said, that does not look like Uzbekistan. And then they were at a Marathon gas station. I was thinking, I don't think they have those in Uzbekistan. It looked like they were in Georgia. They said something about Georgia, so It was just weird the way the geography works. And sometimes I wonder, if you don't put in the exact location, does it just like randomly pick a place for you to be? Because sometimes you'll see people broadcasting allegedly from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and they're clearly not in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So we have added a rice and broth and everything, and we're waiting for the rice to cook through. Uzbekistan was kind of not made famous. It was mentioned. I mean, Americans are used to hearing about it. And 4 years ago, a presidential candidate who did not know much about foreign policy was saying how he, people don't ask him who the president of Becky Stan is, and so that's kind of what stuck in my head. It's like that's where people heard of Uzbekistan. So thirsty. Let's give that another stir, shall we? Whee! Thankfully, since we're waiting so long, we don't have to worry about the rice not absorbing the water. The person who put up the recipe for this was talking about Uzbeki rice. Did not say what specific kind of rice, but the rice that this person got, I'm assuming in Russia somewhere, was saying it was not good and it was had bugs in it or whatever. I don't know. When I get rice, the first thing I always do is I put it in the freezer for a day, just to make sure anything that's in there is not going to stay in there. It's not going to grow. Ta-da! Okay, so this is starting to come together. Smells good. I think I might want to give that a taste. Imagine me tasting food. Let's give that a shot. Fooey, fooey, fooey. Tasty. Could use a little more salt. But all those flavors from the spices are very good. So, I have to keep talking, otherwise the copyright gods get upset and start freaking out. So, keep me entertained while we wait for this and the husband to get back home. The garlic will be ready in about 20 minutes, so I mean, I could pull it out earlier if I have to, but I don't think it'll be quite as ready as it's supposed to be, because it's supposed to cook for about an hour in there. I can smell the garlic though. Dum 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 dum. Keep talking over the music. Abracadabra. Hello, this is our plov, our Uzbek plov. We have our Uzbeki eggplant salad sitting room temperature over here, which is going to go with it. This is country and week number 188 of 193 United Nations member states, as we are cooking our way around the world from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe in our 4-year Learn to Cook project. We're nearing the end. In 6 weeks we'll have reached the end. We started in September of 2012, and here it is, June of 2016. I couldn't chop an onion, I couldn't boil anything. Derek says, if you find yourself in Uzbekistan, don't shake hands with a woman, it's not acceptable. Don't shake hands. Doing it twice would be even worse. Curious. So many customs, different parts of the world. Oh, so there's various global traveling people that I follow. I've mentioned before my one friend who got the Guinness World Record for going to every country in the world without flying. Yay, it's home. And so that's one person, but there's another guy who's doing it flying, and he had made it to Somalia, gone to Somaliland before, which is the northern part, which is kind of safer and such, or relatively, but he wanted to go to Somalia, sort of the main part of Somalia, and he went to Mogadishu, and he found a company and 8 armed guards, and he went in and was there and had food and saw some Mogadishu and whatever, took off, and he's in Muscat in Oman right now. And another friend of mine from here just happens to be in Muscat and Oman at the same time, and I said, now what are the odds of that happening?
Wow, you've been keeping up with the cleaning.
Yes, well, I've got a lot of waiting to do.
Hi.
Hi. Well, I don't think I'm gonna be. Nothing against the Uzbeki people, but it's not a place I think I'm gonna get a warm reception for being there. If you catch my meaning. So this is doing quite well. Let's take another look. We don't want mush from the rice.
You're smelling shrimp, but you're not making shrimp.
Nope, no shrimp. You're smelling carrots and coriander and black pepper and cumin and onions and lamb. And that's what we got. Please say hi. Derek says hi.
Hi, Derek.
Husband says hi back. Okay, I do not want this mushy. I'm getting the feeling it may wind up being mushy. Okay, let's try giving it another
Rice is mushy?
Well, I don't want it to be mushy. I'm just hoping it doesn't wind up that way. Okay, here we go. Tasting. Tasting, tasting. 1, 2, 3. The carrots make it kind of sweet, which is interesting. Not a lot of salt. There's a surprising amount of sweetness. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And for a dish this big, that isn't a lot of salt. So, it is Ramadan right now. So in their Muslim nations right now, there's sort of no eating before sundown, so you get very hungry. So the tradition is for there to be large dishes served after sunset, and then you kind of fill up. But well, from what I understand, not a lot of salt in the dishes. I guess to help you make it through the day. That might be the logic. Well, the rice is okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move on because this way dinner can be ready sooner. If you hear me, hear me, hon?
Yes.
Dinner might be ready sooner rather than later.
Okay.
So we're gonna drain our currants right over here. These would be. I ordered a chicken and egg from Amazon. I'll let you know. A chicken and egg. I guess you can get anything on Amazon. Okay, so we're gonna add what would be the barberries, but they're not barberries, they're currants. We soak them in water. And then we're gonna add those in. I did just take a picture, yes I did. Okay, so we're gonna mix those in. And like I said, we have our red chilies, which each person is going to get, well, each of us are going to get 2. It's just a thing that some people do with this dish. Considering the time, I'm going to see if by chance our garlic is ready, even though technically it's early. So we're going to find out. Good way to get that out would be to use an oven mitt, so I don't burn my hands or my mouth. And not put my face in it either. Oh, that smells garlicky. So we have our garlic cloves here, which are hot, because they were in the oven after all. How soft are they? They seem pretty soft. Purposely Nikki, thank you for the like. Okay, I think we're ready. I think we're ready to plate. Écoutez-vous? So that means we're going to move you to the plating station. Well, hold on, let me get the plates out first. I like this meerkat better now I can see, LOL. Okay. Were you on, oh, you were, Nikki, yes, I see. I know you. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna move you over here to the plating station. And I'm gonna move you over here to the plating station too. Thank you for the hearts. Stay. Okay, you're there, you're there, you're there. So, our eggplant salad, which has been sitting here at room temperature. This recipe said it served 2 as a side, no, 4 people as a side, 2 as a main, but I'd be very hungry if that was all I was eating. So that's gonna be leftovers. Then over here, our main course, our plov. This is gonna be real tricky. Okay, here goes. It's a little on the mushy side, if I'm being honest. And to this, we shall be adding our 2 red chili peppers, and 1 whole garlic clove that we roasted. Hot. Hot and oily. Ow, hot. Ta-da. That's 1. And this complete with skin. Apparently it just peels off, falls off. Allegedly. Ow, hot. Hot, 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 hot. There you go. That looks like dinner, people. So, now we take a picture. You, my lovely, are our Uzbeki plov with eggplant salad. So this is for you. Once more, our plov with the head of garlic thrown in there, the pieces of red chili pepper, and the eggplant salad. And over here, here's your sister. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your plating looks lovely, oh, thank you so much. So that is Uzbekistan. Check out the blog tomorrow at cliffyland.com. That's cliffyland.com. cliffyland.com or cliffyland.com, depending how you're looking at it. The blog will be up there tomorrow night. We'll have pictures, links to the original recipes, videos, information about the country, and how everything went. And then tune in next week, probably only next Tuesday. Guarantee you next Tuesday. Maybe one other night, but definitely next Tuesday for the first of our V countries. So you go to Vanuatu. So check that out. We'll go back to the South Sea Islands one more time. So thanks for checking in. Thank you for the hearts. You guys rock. Catch you later. Yeah, gotta get you. Gonna get you. Gonna get you. Gonna get you. Bye. And thank you. Eat well. Be good to each other. Bye.